Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States of Adventure. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here tonight to deliver the State of the Union, our Adventure Union. Now this goes for goners, this goes for adventure riders, this goes for just fans everywhere and out there. What am I doing? All right, that's good. Thank God. Stuff is getting hot. All right, so I'm here just to talk a little bit about everything that's been going on with BeGoneForGood, what I've been seeing in the adventure market. This is going to be just a video of everything because, frankly, I've missed out on a lot of things and I've got a lot of news to give you, and this seemed like the best way to do it. So I'm going to start with a simple apology. I have been not getting out as many videos as I wanted to. There's still a ton of reviews to do. I've got gear from all over the place. Finally, a lot of companies are getting interested in talking to us about showing you some certain things. And because of that, I've got gear all over this house that can be reviewed and things that I think are really awesome that I've already started utilizing pretty significantly in every one of my rides and I've been super, super happy with. So those will be coming out. I also have trip videos that need to be done. We've got the BDRX, which is going on, and I also had a meeting just recently, or went out and trained with Brett Tax, and I've got another video there. And I know, if you've been paying attention to the channel, you know that 2 years ago, I went out and shot a video with Brett Tax, and that never really came out. And part of the reason is because I never had a really solid story that I assembled with everything that I shot out there. This time is a little bit different. I've got a really good story. I've got an idea of what I actually want to promote when it comes to the video, or what I want to show when it comes to the video. So that's all on the slate and ready to go. For the BDRX video, same sort of thing. That happened back in October, and for some reason I just couldn't wrap everything around getting that completed, partially because I shot a ton of 360 video out there, and I wanted to get that all out and dumped off the drives because it's just huge files, and was running into a lot of issues with editing and exporting such huge files, and it's not working as well as I want to. It's possible that I'll just scrap the 360 side of it and make the BDRX video just to get it out and make sure that you guys can see everything that we did on that journey. Along those same lines, I've also got some really incredible news for you. There will be an article, I just finished it, sent it out yesterday, in ADV Moto, the magazine, about the BDRX trip that Kevin and I took back in October. It's got pictures in there. It's got essentially a lot of the route that we took and different stories that we came across during the course of that route. That's going to be coming out, I want to say, in July, August issues. So that should be hitting the newsstands in June or July. I don't know exactly when they go, but I'll let you know when that comes out. Super excited about this. That they reached out to me and said, hey, you took this trip, thought it was really cool that you shot in 360. Do you want to do a ride review for it? And I'm not really a writer generally, but had an opportunity and thought, why not seize this and see where it goes? See if it's something that works, if I can actually get the words out, make a story out of it, if I can find the pictures for it, because again, I don't also take a lot of pictures on the route. And it all worked out really great. I think the article looks fantastic. I went through a rough draft of it yesterday. Super psyched. Could not be happier about what that looks like. Also had a chance when I was training with Brett Tax to go up to the Penn Merrill horse farm. Now, there's been a horse farm for decades, and only recently, over the past bunch of years, has been changed over to a motorcycle farm as well, with obstacles and trails and routes and different drills and things that you can do out in the fields. And it's a phenomenal training ground. And I was speaking to Blair a little bit about it, who owns the place, and was talking about wanting to make it a bigger and more appropriate motorcycle festival facility, like the sort of place that Horizons Unlimited would go to, or maybe even a smaller version of like an Overland Expo, or just like a moto-centric Overland Expo type of place. Seems like an incredible idea, and I can't wait to show you a little bit more about that farm, and possibly even start running some events and promoting Penn Merrill in a motorcycle type environment. I think it does so much good for the community when we can all kind of get together in a Horizons Unlimited sort of way and just hang out, talk about the trips that we're taking, things that we're planning, things that worked for us, things that didn't, sort of stuff that you get on YouTube all the time, but you get a real life, in-person look at everything that's going on in that community. So I've also had some major changes going on in my life because my wife is pregnant now, and we will be having a new baby boy coming any day now. So that's liable to change the type and duration of riding that I'm doing in the future. But I do hope that it allows me a little bit more focus to produce videos and be able to get a lot more out in 23 than I was able to get out over the past couple of years, probably combined. I've also sort of changed the manner in how I plan on doing this, in the sense that it's been so long and I have not really approached the community or embraced the community, in the sense that there's not a whole lot that you know about me personally. There's stuff you know about the bike, the things that I like, things that I don't. But I'm gonna start talking a little bit more frankly about just who I am and the things that drive me, especially when it comes to adventure motorcycling side. So prepare for that. I've also recently been extremely lucky to have just amazing advancements for BeGoneForGood inside the adventure community. I had an opportunity to go out with Brett Tax. That's obviously happened a couple of times, but since then, I've also written the article for ADV Moto. I've gotten in touch with Tom Medema. They're going to be doing a Rally for Rangers trip in the States this year. Spoke with him a little bit about maybe going out there and shooting that as well. And just having that question be out there in the ether, being able to offer those services, being able to potentially join a trip like that, when just 3-4 years ago, we were just riding around, just having fun, not really doing anything of meaning other than a couple of videos here and there, but had no footing in the adventure world. And now it seems like we are. We're getting closer and closer to really hitting that point where we can be involved in a lot more things. And it's incredibly exciting. And I wanted to urge, and kind of the point of this whole video is that there's a lot of opportunity out there. There's a ton of options and people that are looking for rides and forums to join. And this community is so spectacular that once you start talking to people and building those webs, it just grows and grows and grows and becomes sort of like a family. Now, not the family necessarily that you have already, more kind of like that really disjointed, crazy, often drunk, maybe a little bit dipping a finger into the punch bowl type of family. Maybe that's the kind of family you already have. But that's the sort of family that this community seems to be providing. And once you start looking for and seizing those type of opportunities, I cannot tell you how lucky I feel to be a part of this. And even to just look at the comments, read the comments that come through on these videos, and the interactions that I get to have with folks at festivals, online, at traveling. It's just unbelievable, and I cannot thank you enough. I cannot thank Fate enough. I cannot thank Brett Tax and Tom Medema and DC Dirt Camp enough for allowing me the opportunity to get more and more engrossed in this community. The last update I had for you, and it's really just kind of a small thing, and partially because I will not be able to be traveling as much as I did before. I'll probably still be commuting the same amount. I'll probably put the same amount of mileage on the bike, but just in a different capacity. But I was thinking about building a whole line of adventure t-shirts, things that, you know, I've already got my BeGoneForGood stuff out there. It's right here at the bottom underneath, but I'm going to start adding to that because unfortunately for a lot of us, we spend a lot more time off the bike than we do on the bike. And I can't tell you how much joy it brings me to put on my BeGoneForGood shirt and kind of remember a little part of that side of myself, even when I'm just going to a kid's baseball game or going to work underneath a regular shirt or whatever I happen to be doing. Having a little piece of that adventure with me is a ton of fun. So I was going to build a whole new line of shirts that have different sayings, different funny things that we've done, different bikes or places that we go, things like that, just so you can kind of share with your friends and your family and people who don't otherwise ride your hobby and your lifestyle when you're not on the bike. That just seemed like a cool idea to me. Again, every time you watch these videos, you'll see them right down here. Take a look through them once in a while and see if there's anything you like. So that's all the updates I have for you, but I wanted to leave you with this last thing. Now, from COVID forward, a lot has happened to me in this community, and I don't know if this was just because I didn't see a lot prior to 2020, or if adventure is changing altogether. And by that I mean, it seems like we're really on the cusp of something really spectacular happening in the adventure market. And from Elsbeth Beard being at Horizons Unlimited and having everybody being able to meet her up there, to Horizons Unlimited having somebody who's cooking off the back of a bike and baking cakes and biscuits and things like that. It doesn't even seem possible, but we're getting to the point where technology is there and the capability and the exchange of information is making that happen. 3UP was at Horizons Unlimited. We met them in Overland Expo, and now they're going to Horizons Unlimited and sharing their story there. People are getting involved and getting a lot of new information and new excitement around this community built. And I think maybe it has a little bit to do with some of the old guard kind of passing the torch a little bit. And if you've all read the stories about Ted Simon and Ewan and Charlie, it seems like there's a new generation kind of building in the adventure market. And with the expansion of Ride BDR and all their little X routes that they're going to have out there, they just dropped Oregon. They'll be working on the Southeast, which I'm hoping to get in there with. I've got a couple of feelers out to see if I can be a part of that community a little bit. They're going to have Montana coming out. There's so much going on in the adventure market right now that it's really exciting to be a part of it. There's also a flurry of new bikes that are coming through and upgrades to the old bikes and just new tech that's happening to all of these bikes, and some of it going the opposite direction. The T7 being super stripped down and just kind of a rider's bike, and going all the way up to the GSs and just anything you could ever possibly want on a bike being there, and more people having access because the bikes are getting cheaper or there's options that are cheaper, and you've got KLRs that are just having a resurgence and a renaissance of sorts. It's spectacular to see how much this group is growing and kind of redefining what adventure means. And because of that, I want to leave you with this one last thing. Now, adventure means something different for everybody, and I saw that when I was at the recent Brett Tax class, that sometimes just putting yourself out there and trying something a little bit new is the adventure. And sometimes people have to push a lot harder for that adventure. I was talking to Brett about what he does when he wants to go out for a ride. And for him, the adventure is the education side of it. He doesn't do a whole lot of riding just for his own pleasure. And it's a different view than I would take, probably a different view than you would take, but that's what makes it so spectacular. And that's what I think this community really needs, is everybody just sort of supporting everybody else when it comes to the type of riding they want to do. For some people, that could be as easy as just going to the coffee shop, wanting to get on the bike and feel the wind going through their hair or helmet or whatever for a little bit, all the gear all the time. For others, maybe it's really going out there and doing Nepal trips and South Africa trips and heading to Iran and Syria and riding through the Middle East. Like, whatever floats your boat, go that route. For some people, it's really simple. Just stateside, do the BDRs, try and get into the technical trails, maybe some of the easier ones, maybe some of the harder ones. For other people, maybe it's that huge cross-country trip. I love that As the Magpie, Matt Zito is going out there and doing a trip up the Pacific Coast Highway. Now, it's not probably wildly difficult riding, but it's amazing that that's the adventure she's choosing, and the people she meets along the way, and the food she has, and what goes on with the bikes, and the weather that she's riding through. That's awesome. And there's not enough of us out there talking about this and getting the excitement really brewing. And that's what I want this channel to, what I want it to be. I want it to be excitement around the adventure, whatever that means for you. And hopefully, as you watch this more and more, you'll kind of get that feeling and that inspiration to just have an adventure. It all starts with you. As we always say, adventure starts with you up here and in here. Get it in your head, get it in your heart, get out on the bike. Thank you very much for watching. This is Chad with BeGoneForGood. We do videos all about adventure motorcycling. If you've been on this channel for any amount of time, you know that's true. Hit that subscribe button down below if you like this sort of thing. We'll be producing videos all over the place, doing all sorts of things. Tons of adventure coming down the pipe for me and I want to take you with me on all of it. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next one.